Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well, and yes, you read the title. This is going to be my very first story time video, and it's a pretty important one because when I was experiencing this, I was very uncomfortable and scared during a lot of this story, and I couldn't help but think of ways that I could have handled it better. And it's a situation that a lot of people can find themselves in, so I thought it would be really helpful if I just gave my advice because I was not happy with the way that I handled the situation in the moment, just in case any of you find yourself in the same situation. Maybe you'll remember this video and be able to have a better reaction than I did. So let's start from the beginning. My cute little husband and I were going to see two movies. We were going to do like a back-to-back feature. And we were going to my favorite movie theater. It has reclining seats and they serve alcohol and it's just really nice. It's a nice atmosphere. And I would say that our city is like fairly safe. We've been out late before and nothing strange or scary has happened. So we were both like on board to go watch this movie. And we watched the first movie all the way and nothing weird happened. You know, I was reclined, laying down, having my snacks, like it was all good. But during the second movie, it was still fine up until like midway during the second movie. And then things got really scary, really fast. So there was a guy sitting in our same row. At the time we were in the back row and I was sitting right next to an empty seat, which was right next to the aisle. It was an aisle seat. And the whole time, I'm not thinking anything of it, like, okay, a guy gets up to use the restroom, that's fine. When he comes back, he comes and sits right in the empty seat. And the way the tickets and the seats work is when you buy a ticket, you reserve a seat. So everybody has their reserved seat before they go into the movie theater. So I thought it was kind of strange that he wanted to sit right next to me, but I just brushed it off and was like, okay, well, you know, maybe he has an upset stomach or something, or he needs, for some reason, to be close to the aisle. No one was there and I didn't really care, so I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm completely reclined, watching my movie, just enjoying it. And then I noticed that this guy was like really staring at me. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves. I'm a really shy person, so I don't like it when people stare at me, especially people like who are complete strangers. Like, it makes me really uncomfortable. So I'm noticing, like, okay, whenever I laugh or have any type of reaction, I'd turn to look at my husband and we'd share a smile or a laugh or whatever, but then I'd kind of like look out of the corner of my eye because I would see like his head fully turned looking at me. And I'm just like, oh man, like I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to be rude, and you know, maybe he didn't notice he was doing it, or maybe he just wanted to be friendly or nice. So I just brushed it off and went about watching my movie, and then things got even weirder. So we were sharing an armrest, right? And his arm was on the armrest too, which is fine. I mean, you paid for, you know, a seat and an armrest. You deserve the same rights as me to use the armrest, obviously. But the thing was, I was getting like really bad like gut feelings from this guy. And we both had our arms on the armrest, but like he started to move his arm towards mine, and then it was like fully touching. And it just, I don't know, it wasn't necessarily the fact that I was touching arms with someone, it was just the feeling that I got. It just wasn't good. So like I'd pull my arm away and then he would meet my arm again. And I didn't want to be rude again, so I didn't want to like harshly pull my arm away from him or be rude and like give him a dirty look or anything. So I'm just like politely trying to move my arm away from him. And then it started to get worse because I moved my arm completely off of the armrest, and then he started to like lean up against me, which was really making me really uncomfortable. And we were like reclining at the time, so I would like slowly like move over to the other side of the seat, and he would follow, like not instantly right after, but he would like wait for a couple minutes to go by, and then he'd scoot and scoot until I found myself touching him again. And so I'd like just have this motion going on where I just move over and then he'd come back and I'd move over, and it's just like, it was making me really uncomfortable. And at that point, I just wanted the movie to be over. I didn't know what to say, I didn't want to be rude, but I just knew that I had a bad gut feeling and I was uncomfortable. That's all I knew. So within about 20 minutes, the movie ends, and we're sitting in the very back row, and the lights come on, and I'm kind of waiting for like all the people ahead of us to move out of their seats and like for the people to disperse so there's not like super long lines or anything. And I thought for sure, like, okay, it's this one single guy with no one else. Like usually people who go to the movies by themselves are really fast. Like they go in and out like that. But not this guy. So I'm trying to go really slowly, like I'm putting my blanket away and putting like any like water or soda that we had back in my backpack, and I'm purposely like trying to take a long time so he can leave and I can see like him leave and just be done with it. But I take a really long time, and then pretty soon like I'm out of stalling time. And so me and my husband go and we walk out, and I just feel really uncomfortable because once we got up, he got up. He like followed us out, and I just did not have a good feeling at all. So I turned my head a little bit, and he was walking behind us, but there was like a decent gap behind us. So I just tried to brush it off, and then my husband told me he needed to use the restroom. So I was waiting for him outside of the restroom, and that guy was walking down the hall, and he saw my husband go into the restroom, and he's looking at me very intensely, and like he has this look that I cannot even replicate. It's like his eyes were like emotionless, but like not emotionless, more like dead. And it was just really scary because he was looking me straight in the eye, and it's like he knew I was uncomfortable and he wanted me to feel uncomfortable. Like he was not like shifting his gaze at all. It was just like bam, 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 and I just felt like, I felt chills and not good at all. I felt like a little deer that was being preyed on. So I was getting really uncomfortable feelings in my stomach, and he passes me, and then his back is turned towards me because he passed me and he's walking towards the exit door. But the whole time he's walking towards that door, like every 3 steps, he's turning around and he's looking, and he's turning around and he's looking with that same gaze. And it was like really making me feel uncomfortable. So I'm like, you know what? My husband's not out yet. Let me just go in the restroom, and I'll wait a couple minutes, and then I'll come back out and he'll be gone, because he was fairly close to the exit door. And so I'm in the restroom for a couple minutes, maybe like 3-4 minutes, and then I come back out. My husband's still not out yet. And I get so scared. Like my body has like chills and like probably shook a little bit, because I turn not towards the exit door, but towards the movie theater, because there he is again, coming straight towards me with the same gaze, but now he kind of has like a creepy smirk on his face. And I swear, like, I was just so scared and creeped out, because for him to be in the position in the theater that he was meant that he had to make a U-turn away from the exit door, go upstairs, past concessions, go through the little ticket check place, and then come back to see me get out of the bathrooms. And when I saw him, I was just stunned like this. Like I was shocked and scared, and like, oh my goodness, this guy, I didn't really know what his motive was, and I was very, very uncomfortable at that point. And then my husband came out like right then, and I quickly grabbed his arm and I started walking pretty fast, and he's like, oh my goodness, like what's going on? And I didn't want to say anything. I was just like so shaken up that all I could do was like make sure that guy was like far enough away from me that I was safe. And then once we finally got into our car and I saw that guy go the other way, I told my husband what had happened, and he of course questioned me as to why I didn't say anything. And it was just such a mess, and I felt so scared and gross and just like not good. I just had a bad feeling, and I wanted to share this video because I had the wrong approach. Do not be like me. If somebody is making you feel uncomfortable or feel unsafe, don't be afraid to just stand up for yourself. And if you're with somebody, tell them, hey, this person is doing whatever and I don't like it. It's not making me feel good, or I feel scared. I was just too afraid of being rude or potentially like hurting his feelings or whatever. I kept making excuses for him, but I mean, at the end of the night, when my husband left for the restroom, it was very clear that this guy was doing this on purpose. He wanted me to feel uncomfortable, and who knows, he could have been dangerous. You never know. You don't know what people's motives are, and you don't know if they have any weapons on them or just anything about them. They're complete strangers. So my advice would be, if you find yourself in any dangerous or uncomfortable situation, don't let anyone just put you in a position that you feel uncomfortable or that you don't want to be in. Speak up. Find someone that can help you. There's power in numbers. If you're by yourself, find a group. Just be around someone else. Your safety is number one. And that's just the most important thing to remember. I don't want any of my subscribers to be in harm's way, or anyone watching this video. So please learn from my mistakes and speak up if you're uncomfortable or you feel unsafe. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to leave me a comment, if something similar happened to you, put it down below so we can chat and maybe talk about different things that we can do or ways that we can all stay safe together. Until next time, you guys are beautiful. Mwah.